So let's not pull any punches here. The Sega Saturn wasn't exactly a 3D powerhouse, but right there in every ad, we pretty much had Panzer Dragoon saying 3D. Not a problem. Here's some dragons with your slice of 3D, and some classic arcade action mixed in with some epic storylines and mythology. It was a good move, controlled and calculated. We got these awesome, epic environments, rendered on a system that was pretty much the problem child in the Sega family. The dedicated paths mean you're not going to get caught in any scenery. You can only see the polished face of the game. And because of that, the gameplay still works today. Saying that, when they decided to hit the franchise again, they took a really good shot at creating something a lot more memorable. And believe me, it deserved it. The game that helped define the Sega Saturn's image from day one, in the US and Australia at least, got a sequel that was bigger, better, and to put it simply, more fun. Because it gave the player more variety without taking away any of its down-to-earth arcade action. Panzer Dragoon is really hard to fault, but I'm not going to let you guys down. I know you only tune in to hear me rant, so here we go. Problems with the game, and there are heaps. It's really short. At 7 stages long, that last stage is literally just a boss fight. So what makes Panzer Dragoon Zwei worth checking out on the Sega Saturn when it's pretty much remembered as a terrible alternative to the Sony PlayStation and was failing its way off the market before all the competitors could make it to the ring and get warmed up? Well, this game never actually made it off the Saturn. To check out some classic Dragon action, the original Panzer Dragoon did make it onto the PC, and as an extra on the Xbox title, Panzer Dragoon Auto. Panzer Dragoon might be a great place to start, but what we got here is a game that stays really true to that awesome arcade action, but added more variety to the Dragon, the in-game routes, added more action, and just cleaned it up enough to make it present really nicely. Even today, booting this game up, there are some great, unique looking stages, and even though we're not going to reach the PlayStation clarity and polish here, these graphics have a real charm to them. As an added bonus, the Sega Saturn actually had one of my favourite gamepads, the 3D controller. Problem is, not many games actually used it. And I was actually pretty excited when I found you can actually use this thing with the Panzer Dragoon games. Doesn't work the best, but this game was actually designed with the Sega Saturn mission stick in mind. But feel free to sub in the arcade stick instead. One button I hope you don't use too much is the pause button. My mum started to literally bust out chores as I was getting into the last 2 stages. You can't just pick up this game after 5 minutes and dive right back into the action. One thing I recommend personally is, put on headphones, lock the door, set up little guards, whatever it takes. Keep people out of your room. I do recommend coming back and checking out different routes and pathways through the stages. It's not a long game, but you'll want to set aside about an hour and a half to get really into it. So when I'm a slightly older bruiser, and I've got little bruisers running around saying, "Daddy, Daddy, what were games like in your day?" I'm going to have to break the terrible news to them. First-person shooters didn't really hit their stride. I mean, Doom on the Sega Saturn, it sucked. But the Sega Saturn actually launched with games like Panzer Dragoon in the US and in Australia. A goddamn rail shooter showing off the capabilities of a games machine. Games like Panzer Dragoon Zwei were the games I was lusting after. Hard hitting, arcade action. Not exactly as polished as some of the games coming out on the PlayStation. But the great thing about the Sega Saturn is that these kind of games, those unexpected, innovative titles, Nights into Dreams, Panzer Dragoon, Guardian Heroes, they had a better chance of making an impact. and actually defining the Saturn era of gaming. Whereas the PlayStation, these games would have just been buried on it. So if you're a gamer like me, quality exclusives like Panzer Dragoon Zwei should excite the hell out of you. There is no better way to play this than on a Saturn. No HD remakes, no ports. This is it. Thanks for watching.